Welcome to the Sister Street Show with Mary Nunnally and Sharon and I, a docu-series, interactive show, and virtual playground where we explore topics around entrepreneurship, online and in-person events, and the games that can be played with all of it. Follow a series or subscribe to the quest.
Oh my goodness. We are happy and full post Thanksgiving, although we did agree that we haven't overstuffed ourselves, Mary and I. Welcome back. It is Sharon Otagura with Sister Street Show and my co-host,
Mary Nunley. Hello, everyone. I hope if you're in the US, you did not overstuff yourself on the Thanksgiving holiday either.
Yes, we had so much food, but we were able to portion control ourselves in our actual eating. And then we will have turkey and ham for probably a couple of weeks to come.
I was going to say, sometimes there's a real benefit to having leftovers and having that extra that you don't let go to waste. So because my brain works in wild and weird ways, as you well know, Sharon, I think this is a perfect segue into our wrap-up episode on other types of events, because if you've been following along, we've been talking about hosting a summit, finding speakers, and building your email list. And when we were speaking about excess food, sometimes you now have excess people on your email list and you don't know what to do with them. So Sharon, take that really awkward segue and tell us.
I'm going fishing this morning.
But I mean, tell us what we do with all these emails that we have now collected, and what are some other things that we can do to continue building our lists?
Yes. So there are a lot of things that once you have this list from your summit, you want to do. Really, most importantly, just like Thanksgiving, we want to be thankful and we want to nurture that list. So whatever that looks like for you, because it could be a different variety of things, you still want to make sure that you know and show with your audience that you are grateful. So that means the email sequences, the nurture sequences we talked about at the beginning of our journey in Sister Street. That means that this is a great time to do a giveaway or a challenge with your list. And I also want to circle back to the part of this, and we were talking about this just before we hit record, Mary and I, but also circling back to what do you need most in your events? It's planning. So why did we talk about that? Because we were talking about, Black Friday sales as well. So we're going to get back to that planning piece of it as we go into the back part of this episode. But what you want to do now that you've hosted your first event or planned out your first event, summit or retreat, is to nurture that list. So make sure you get them an email out this very week and just say, happy holidays. Thank you so much for being on my list. And here's something that I can offer you of value. So value can look differently for different people. You can have an additional giveaway from the same summit theme. You can add something of your own personal, one of your probably best little nuggets of wisdom or best mini courses, but you want to nurture that list. And then the next thing is to continue planning, because it's really important you start to automate this. Otherwise, it'll be just like that thank you card after the wedding. You're going to send the thank you card. Hopefully, not everyone does. And then you're going to forget to follow up with them for another few weeks, months, or even years. So those are my top two. And Mary, let's talk about what other types of events there are.
Sure. No, Sharon, that, and I love the way you tied that in with the thank you card. And I really think that that's a piece that so many of us as entrepreneurs miss out on, is we've got these names and now what do you do with them? So have that thank you in mind, have that added value in mind. But there's some other events that you can look at. So for some of you, you may have watched our summit episodes and the retreats and go, oh my gosh, that's just way too much for me. I just can't do it. And as we mentioned, there are two paths, or actually three. You can be a participant viewer, you can be a participant speaker, or you can be the host. And so some other events are also three-pronged. You could be part of a giveaway. And the giveaway will usually have very specific guidelines that include things like, here's what the value of your giveaway item has to be. Here's how you have to help us tell other people about it. But it's a great way, again, to low cost, lower point of entry, help expand your business. You could also host a giveaway. That's a little bit more work. Or you could just be a recipient of the giveaway. And it's like, oh, lots of cool stuff. I think I want to add that to my, packet of tools that I have. So giveaways are one. What's
So
the other one?
well, and so it's perfect that Mary just paused there, because we want to invite you to be part of our next giveaway. So Mary and I do periodic giveaways throughout the year as well. Basically, all you need is making sure you have a lead magnet, which we talked about in earlier episodes, of value, and then just email us, and we will be happy to bring you on to our next giveaway, as well as possibly other engagements, events, and things like that. So let us know if you are. Drop a comment, or better yet, actually drop a comment, yes. But what we will actually follow up with is if you email us at sisterstreetshow@gmail.com. So if you want to be part of a giveaway, let us know, and we're happy to support you in that journey. The other types of events, Mary, have you thought of them, or I could jump in?
I mean, we've talked about retreats, we've talked about summits. Other kinds of events are also webinars, live online courses, pre-recorded online courses. Those are not really events, those are more activities, but webinars are events. Yep. And that's another great way to bring people into your circle of influence. So what am I missing?
You also could consider challenges. So challenges are similar to actually, all of them have similarities, right? But they're similar to summits where you have speakers come on. A challenge is going to be more focused on you as the speaker, less about guests. You might have one or two guests, but that's about it. And they can go anywhere from 3 days to 21 days or longer. But the average that we've seen is between 3 and 7 days, where you have a challenge that's going to give your audience a mini win. And you go live 1 hour per day for those days that you're doing it. And
the reason I'm laughing is because I'm in the middle of planning a challenge, and it didn't even cross my mind to say challenge.
So summits, retreats, giveaways, challenges, webinars, and then possibly workshops is similar to webinars, but they're going to be more of a live, get it done type of event. All have different price points, all have different amounts of work, all are centered the success around the plan. Yes. So coming back to the planning, Mary, how was your Black Friday sale? How well did you plan for that?
I didn't. So no Black Friday sale, no planning. I woke up this morning going, oh, it's Friday. Maybe I should have done something, but that's okay. And with what you were saying, Sharon, about the plan, the other piece of it is I want to go back to what Shabade said a few episodes ago, is any of these things you do, whether it's a Black Friday sale, whether it's a summit, a challenge, a retreat, a webinar, a workshop, you got to think about how does it fit into the big picture of what I'm trying to accomplish in my business and where I am right now, because we do a lot of done for you course creation. A Black Friday sale just didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And so in terms of our plan and our strategy for wrapping up 2021 and moving into 2022, a sale didn't make sense. Next year, we're getting ready to launch a lot more courses and build an academy around online course creation and gamification and animation. Then a Black Friday sale might make sense, like a discount on this bundle or a discount on some live training. So it goes back to the plan. What about you, Sharon? What'd you do for Black Friday?
Yes. Well, so I'll say it, but I want to highlight two things there. One is that we are not saying don't do Black Friday sales. We are saying make sure you have your big picture clear in front of you so that you allow yourself that's the number one, is make sure you have a clear picture of the big picture. And number two is so that you have the time to plan, because planning is progress and success. So,
or as they used to say, proper prior planning prevents poor performance.
Absolutely. So the same for me. I did not do a Black Friday. And it's because I am in a pivot point in my business. We've been very successful with our events that we've been working on this year, and we want to continue that. So we're working towards a workshop that I think we mentioned in the last couple episodes. So that's coming up. And also, I have multiple streams of income. So that's important that I keep those channels flowing. And that also was why right now it didn't make sense to have the Black Friday sale on something that's just starting versus really making sure that all the channels are flowing smoothly. On the heels of that, just the same as you, Mary, I do plan on planning for next year because the channel that I am doubling down on does involve B2C or business to consumer. And that makes sense more than a business to business to have a Black Friday sale. Now, we do think Black Friday sales can be beneficial for all, but there are different ways that they are beneficial. So as we're kind of shifting into that from events, any last words on events? And then we do want to shift to Black Friday, holiday planning, and thinking about next year.
Yeah. So the last thing I would say about events is to just really think about the event that you're doing and how does it move your business forward? Because oftentimes, at least I know for myself, and I've known Sharon for a while now, I think we've got similar personalities in that respect. It's like, oh, it's the cool new shiny hot thing that's out there. Let me just jump in and do it. And it's great and we have fun and it was a good time and we learned a lot. But in terms of moving our business forward, it's like, well, what was the point there? Like, I got a bunch of names, but they're really not my right audience. Or I collected a bunch of leads, but none of them want my product. So really having that plan and saying, you know what, Summit sounds great. Maybe it's not on the agenda for 2022, but here's what I'm planning on for 2023. And that's a perfect time to do it. So that would be my kind of like last tip.
I love that. Yes. So back to that big picture piece. And we did want to kind of, we joked about Black Friday, but we wanted to bring it up because we have seen some strategies that we felt worked well this year. And we saw some strategies that we didn't think did. So Mary, what's your wrap up of Black Friday?
Ooh, so the things that I've seen so far this year that have worked well are, for example, companies that I follow that are in the online education business that also offer certifications and have a once a year, one time, super deep discount on their certifications. And as Sharon and I were talking before this episode, I'm like, I know this because I followed this company for a few years. And so when I saw that, oh, I can go sign up for this training for almost a 50% discount, and I know that it's never lower than this, that to me is like, wow. One of the things that I've seen though that wasn't so appealing were some folks that I know that have basically just bundled together all of their courses and said, oh, we're going to give you this deep discount. But in talking with them, a lot of what they bundled in were courses that didn't sell well for them originally. And so it's like maybe a way to try to prime the pump going, hey, if I make the price low enough and put it up as a sale, maybe I'll get some traction on these courses. I don't necessarily know if that's the best thing. And I'm coming at it from the perspective of someone who buys lots of courses, but then never takes them or completes them. And so to me, where I'm at professionally and personally is I would rather spend money on one good course than get a deep discount on a bunch of courses that I'm never going to watch anyway, because I want to actually make progress and move. But for some people that are just starting out in the course collection process, this is a great way to get going.
I love what you said, course collection process, because I will say I've not known a single entrepreneur that's in the information game that has not felt or done or been that. So absolutely. So I'm going to challenge you though, Mary, because for me, what I found one of the good strategies this year was the bundling. But I think if we don't highlight it, they might miss your point because bundling is great.
Yes.
Badly is bad, right? So
yes. So like one of the ones that I saw, I had like 15 plus courses bundled together. That's when I'm just like, maybe if you had done smaller bundles of things that were related, because in the bundle, there were items that were completely unrelated from like how to make marinara sauce to how to be a published author to, how to start your drop ship store to how to market your online course. And so I'm like, okay, all of these in and of themselves are probably really, really good. But if I'm looking for cooking courses, I probably don't care about drop shipping. So maybe smaller bundles with more related items. And then I could go, oh, well, the price is right. I'll buy all 4 of these bundles and give them as gifts. But I can't unbundle it and go, oh, here, Sharon, here's the cooking course. Oh, here, sister, here's the drop ship course. They all came together. So that's kind of where I was like, okay.
Yes. Well, and that's a great point, because this is your time to really highly engage your audience. And this is why Mary said she loved that deep discount, because it was specifically geared to the audience that has followed for years, so that they knew the value of the deep discount that was being offered and are more likely to be more successful down the road as well, because they were given that gift of the discount. It is not the time to dilute your audience by confusing them about what you actually do. And so just to remember, this is your business. This is not your test lab or, your, what we say, Ohana family, but it's not for your family. This is for your business offerings. So to stay focused, or to be very clear that, this is what our Black Friday offer is. And by the way, because you're in my Ohana, because you're in my circle of influence, here's just a bunch of potluck things that you can, play with as an added value, but not trying to bundle it into your offer.
Yeah. Oh, I love the way you do that. Because I was just thinking about some of our offers on our School of Techno site. We've got courses on lead magnets, courses on gamification, but we also have algebra courses for middle schoolers and science courses for, elementary schoolers. And I could just bundle everything together from our site and go, hey, for $100, you get all of this. But my audience is going to scratch their head going, how does lead magnets work with middle school algebra? And why is she selling me a class on how to make marshmallows? So again, it's really, but if I took the approach that you offered and said, hey, here's a bundle on lead magnets, it's X amount. And because we're trying something new and we've got these other courses geared towards families, we're going to add that in for you. So if you know of a family that might find some value in it, here's a sample that you can share with them. And then here's who they can contact for more information. So it really is all about in the message.
I love that. So one other strategy that I do want to make note of this season that I found really interesting, and I hadn't seen it before, was this VIP list thing. So a couple of entrepreneurs, both from big name entrepreneurs down to, colleagues such as us, have this strategy that they did for Thanksgiving, where they said their Black Friday offer was going to only be opened up, or it was going to be opened up early to their VIP list. So I received their emails a little bit earlier than Black Friday. And what it said was, hey, click here for this free gift, same lead magnet process, but click here so that you get early access to my Black Friday offers, or you get added value to be on my VIP list. And it was a great way, I thought, for people to curate their list to see who was engaged. Now, when you start to build your email list, you'll find that most people are surfers, right? And so they're going to be on your list, but they're not going to be actively engaged. The longer they're not actively engaged, the more it actually is hurting your metrics or your ratings on these CRM, these client relation manager systems. So it's really important that you know which of your lists are engaged, so that so Gmail and all the other email servers are going to put your emails where they are visible. So I saw this a few times, and it was really interesting for me to check, hey, are you engaged? If so, we're going to give you free access or early access. I don't know, Mary, what do you think about that strategy?
Now that you pointed out, I actually recall receiving one of those and clicking the button and signing up for that extra VIP status. But it is an email person that I regularly read their emails, as opposed to most of them, which is a quick scan and then it's delete, 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 delete. And so I hadn't really thought about that from that perspective of who's really engaged on my list. Who do I want to have here? And again, it was a very warm, welcoming email. It was friendly. It was, hey, you're an insider. So I'm going to give you the inside scoop and you're going to get early access. And it's like, oh, cool. So I do like that strategy. I think the key thing again, though, is having a plan. If you send out an email like that, what are you going to do and how are you going to continue to nurture those VIPs?
Got it. I love it. Back to the plan. So
Yes.
chatted about now Black Friday offers, everyone. So do a Black Friday offer if it makes sense for you, but always have a plan that perhaps checking engagement by adding early access to VIPs might be a way to re-engage your list. That bundles are great, but not always when used improperly. And also that this is the time to focus on your highly engaged audience and give them the deepest offer. So from Black Friday, we wanted to kind of shift into, because this is sort of a conversation episode for all of you and all of us, and both of us, but shift into what's next. So Mary, what is next on the Sister Street show?
So the Sister Street show is going to have some fun over the next couple of weeks talking about holiday strategies, promotions, planning for the future, planning for next year. And then we're also working on a special thank you for our listeners and our audience. Well, we're going to have some of our favorite friends, crafters, edutainers, for lack of a better term, spend some time with us live with you, sharing some of their best ideas.
So Black Friday sales have been great. We're laughing because we always love the tech challenges. We always love the little mini moments.
Oh, yes.
But after Black Friday sales, we want to talk about what's coming up next. So Mary, what is next on the Sister Street show?
Sure. So thanks, Sharon. So we've got some fun stuff planned. We're going to look at the holiday season. We're going to thank you, our audience, and we're going to be bringing in on a special night and a special time, a live episode that will allow us to share some of our closest and most entertaining friends and colleagues to share some of their gifts and thoughts with you. And then we're also going to spend some time talking about planning for the future. And we are going to take a little hiatus for the end of the year to just let everyone have that time with their family, their friends, without that hustle and bustle, so that we can come back and start fresh at the first of the year. What did I miss?
That is perfect, Mary. Missed nothing. I would love to add that we are a sisterhood on this journey down the road together. So do drop comments of what you'd like to hear about for next year. Do drop questions for us and let us know what we can do to make sure you're successful in business and you are supported on your adventure as well. So we will be reading those. We love that the new subscribers keep popping up now on our show, and we'll continue to build the Ohana. So please let us know how we can support you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone who is watching, giving feedback, and hanging out with us. So we've got some fun things in store to wrap up the end of the year.
All right. Aloha. See you guys soon.
Bye, everyone.
We look forward to having you tune in next week for the rest of the conversation. Thanks for listening to the Sister Street Show with Mary Nanali and Sharon Adagiro. To learn more about the topics discussed today, visit sisterstreet.show.